Welcome to the show. Geek Insider presents Into the Geekverse, the place to get an inside look at movies, comics, games, tech, and everything exciting going on in the Geekverse. Join Matthew Harris and David King as they take a deeper look at the good, the bad, and the downright terrible things our Geekverse has to offer. With live chat, geek news, special guests, and lots more. So sit back, relax, and join us for a peek into the Geekverse.
Welcome back. I hope everybody had a wonderful week. As the title says, today we're going to be talking about Overwatch 2, all the information that we have on that, especially since the beta just finished, as well as a recap for Overwatch 1. As always, this is a Geek Insider production. Welcome into the Geekverse. I hope y'all like that new intro, something that we put together. I think we matched that voiceover quite well. Feel free to come in, drop us some comments, let us know. My co-host, Matthew Harris, may join us later. He is currently busy at the moment, but I'm really happy to share y'all this game. It is my favorite game, and I'm very excited for the second one, and I'll share with y'all my thoughts about the Overwatch 2 beta that I was getting to play, as well as the new characters. So starting us off today, I want to go ahead and remind y'all, in August, our episode is going to be going over about, we are going to the Bell County Comic-Con. I'm going to be flying off to Texas with Matthew to go get some interviews, go get some videos, some footage for y'all to be able to see. And we've actually gone there before, and it was a blast. So I can't wait to share with y'all what all we have. As last episode, we did do a little bit of a teaser. Please make sure that you subscribe and hit that bell icon so that you can be notified. We will have some more information going towards giveaways. If you are interested in the first item, you can go back to our last episode and watch it. We are on YouTube. With no further ado, I'm going to go ahead and drop into what we know about Overwatch 2. So Overwatch 2 has been in development for a really long time. It's been really needed, but between company setbacks, allegations, company scandals kind of thing, there was a lot that kind of pushed it back, as well as the feedback from the Overwatch team overall, all the players. And so finally, we have a release date of October 4th this year, so just a couple months away. Now, this is going to be a little bit different. You still have your PvP, but you also have like PvE that they've talked about. They've changed a bit of the characters. For instance, like Reinhardt, who's a tank, you have more of the two strikes where he throws this fire out of his sledgehammer. You also changed the biggest dynamic that I can tell everybody was in Overwatch 1, they went through many different transitions, and one of the biggest ones was a 2-2-2 system where you had 2 tanks, 2 healers, and 2 attacks. So this is going to ensure that when you jump in the game, it's somewhat even. At least you have that chance rather than everybody getting to pick their own characters. This made it really fun, but also for the people who wanted to play more open, you had Arcade, which you could play like random modes like Mystery or the Classic, and that made it really fun. But going back to Overwatch 2, they actually changed that. You now get 5 players instead of 6, and you get 1 tank, 2 attack, and 2 supports. I was really skeptical about this, but going into playing the beta, it actually worked out really well, because the way that they have buffed the tanks in certain areas as well as the healing, I had played tanks, I would say majority of the time playing the beta, and it really wasn't that hard to try to stay alive, especially because getting into our second topic, we've got in Overwatch 2, we've got 2 new characters, and they've been talked about for quite some time, even the possibility of them being in Overwatch 1. So first, you have Sojourn. This is one that we actually have known for quite a while, as far as like the playthrough and even being released. from Overwatch themselves. This is going to be an assault class hero. You have where you can shoot all of the assault rifle, kind of like Soldier. I'll show you all a little bit of the footage clips later so that you get a kind of a feel for some of the characters and some of my own gameplay. But then the secondary fire is actually kind of like a sniper fire. It's like a rail shot. So when you shoot, you build up a charge and then you can release it all in one big shot. And this can like cause heavy damage, especially when you're doing critical hits. You also have a huge mobility boost with this character because you can actually slide forward, and then at the end of the slide, you can actually do a boosted jump. And this is similar to when you slide and then do a booster jump with Baptiste when he crouches. So it's mixing Soldier's run with Baptiste's jump, which is great. But not only going forward, you can actually do that backwards. So for a character that has such little health, you have a huge mobility increase. And I've seen a lot of people play it very well, especially being able to use like the high ground, kind of staying back, getting a bunch of damage. That leads us to the next big thing. Well, before the ultimate, we also have, which is sort of like a grenade. I didn't get a full feel of it. It's kind of like Graviton from Zarya, but it's like a shootable grenade. It shoots really straight. I don't see any dip over time, like an arc that you have to put on it. Once it hits towards the target, it pulls them in a little bit and it does a little bit of damage over time. So it is useful, especially in a certain combination if you put it in. Kind of like, doing that, spread firing, and then finish the little bits off with your railgun blast. Also, when you get into the ultimate, that ultimate at first I thought was kind of like Soldier's because it activates, it gives you the same feel as Soldier, but actually it just gives you a complete boost for the railgun, so you can kind of do back-to-back railguns rather than having to recharge it by shooting and everything. I didn't play very well with that character. I did try quite a bit. Unfortunately, I don't have any gameplay for y'all on Overwatch 2 beta, but I did thoroughly enjoy the character, and I think it's one that I can adapt to more. Getting on to the second character that we have, that second character was Junker Queen. This was one that had a bunch of fan drawings, people talking about it, rumors. Now we've finally seen Junker Queen. She even has this really, really cool trailer. You can look it up on YouTube, going over kind of her background and stuff. She goes into Junkertown, which is a map you can actually play on Overwatch 1 as well as Overwatch 2. It has some really good choke points, some open areas, so a very good map where you can pretty much be versatile with any of the heroes, at least in some aspect of that map. But she goes into Junkertown. There was the Junker King, which was before Junker Queen. And they had these battle royales and everything. And she entered it. She was from like down in the dirt, like the bottom class. And, she does a really good job fighting in that arena. And it's to the death. Once she starts knocking out the smaller opponents, she is teasing the Junker King. He finally gets involved, and as she's fighting the Junker King and having to fight the others, she kind of immobilizes for the most part the others, the lower level enemies. And then she starts, as she's going around, the Junker King is going to be using the lower ones as mortar, just killing them off. And so she uses that to her advantage by explaining to the lower level ones like, hey, are you really going to be with this type of person? I could treat you a lot better. I'm going to make a lot of changes around here. And you don't really know if it's working until just really the final part of that fight. You see that enemy change their mind and take sides with Junker Queen. And then she does end up defeating Junker King. Spoilers, but not spoilers. Her name's Junker Queen. I'm sure you guessed that she was going to become queen. She becomes queen. She takes control. That's kind of her story. It's way better if you check it out on YouTube. They do a really great job with these animations, as they did with pretty much every single one of the trailers that I have seen for each one of these characters. Like Ashe is my favorite. She had a really good one introducing Echo. there's a lot. But going back to Junker Queen, after her animation, I did play her a lot, and I'd say that I was a lot better with her. Now, she is classed as a tank, and you don't have a shield, which was really startling to me because when you start with a tank that you only have one tank to support this whole team, you would kind of want something to take brunt fire, a shield, and that's what I was expecting. And I didn't think that her health was going to be substantial enough to be able to take that fire and push the team forward. Now, you'll understand a little bit why better uh, once I start explaining to you about the character. So, the very first thing is for her to be able to take fire, she has an ability, and this is like a battle cry. She shouts it out. She boosts a little bit of her speed, I think her attack, but majority, it boosts the health about 200, which is substantial because I believe she starts at 450, so it boosts it to 650, I believe. I really wish that I had some footage to share with y'all, but that was the beta access and everything. I do have Overwatch 1 footage to share with y'all, so stay tuned for that. And you'll get to judge my own gameplay. And, feel free however you want. I know I'm not the best out there, but I am excited to share it with you. So you do have this battle cry. This affects all of your teammates, which is really good. I did use it substantially a lot as a small bit of a boost to get back into the fight because I'm the only tank. It does have a medium to kind of long cooldown, but by the time you use it, you get out there and you throw a little bit of the hits out there, you've already got it recharged. So I thought it was important to try to get back into that fight as the tank as soon as possible. Next, we have my favorite ability that she has is she actually has a knife. Now, this knife isn't just one that you slice up close, and you also get to see her use that in the animation. You can actually throw this knife and it can stick into enemies. Now, the great news about this knife is you can also recall the knife. So you can basically throw it out and you can recall it. It has a short time for you to have to use it again. Now, the best thing about using that is, yes, it does hit them a little bit for damage, but it actually acts as a small grappling hook, not as severe as Roadhogs, where it pulls them all the way into you. But if you hit a target and then you pull them forward, then it does a little bit of damage over time, but it pulls them about a hop, skip, and jump away from you, fairly close, especially if you're doing it and not like long throws or anything like that. And it's a really good setup for a combination. I mean, especially if you throw it, you hit someone, you hit your battle cry, you recall it, and you can start swinging your axe, which is the secondary ability, which is a really big swing of an axe. And so this is gonna, hit a big sweep of people if they're all grouped up, which is good. And I use this in a really big combination most of the time. So for a one and only tank to be playing, you do pretty well between having the battle cry and you have a pretty good mobility. If you have good healers on your team because you've got two and they don't have to focus on healing two tanks, it works out really well. So I'm really excited to see what more they have in store for Junker Queen. Most importantly, I'd have to say the skins, because Overwatch has done an outstanding job on skins. I do have a few to show y'all, but if you ever get the chance, definitely check it out because you could switch through and you don't have to pay. There's so many wonderful ways of getting loot boxes, such as just playing for a while until you level up and get a loot box. Or they also have like an endorsement system, which we'll get into a little bit later. You also have like after the endorsement system and people give you ratings and stuff like that, you sometimes just get bundles of boxes for free. And then also like if you play daily, you can actually hop on that quick play option, and then that quick play option will tell you whichever the least played category is. And then there's the whole option where you can say, I'll play any category. And if you play one match, you get a loot box. And then you can open that loot box, which is really great and a refresher from playing games that you have to really grind for loot boxes or having to pay for them. So really excited for that. Overwatch has been out for an extremely long time, and I'm glad to see Overwatch 2 come out, especially really strong for how long they have delayed it. I've had a couple of people who work for Blizzard and everything, and so I'm really excited. But I'll tell you what, guys, we go live. We're live right now on YouTube, and if you drop a comment on YouTube or Facebook, I will see it, and I would be really happy to discuss any points that you have. And even give you a shout out for, because there's a lot of different aspects, and I'm definitely going to miss some in just a short hour show. And so please join us. For anybody listening on the podcasts, feel free to go over to our YouTube channel, subscribe, hit that bell. You will be able to drop comments with us live, or you can even go to the YouTube channel and drop comments after the videos. We do check those regularly so that we can get back to you and even talk about them. So if y'all have ideas for shows coming up or anything, we would be really excited to talk about that kind of stuff. Now, we've talked about Overwatch 2 for the first quarter of the show, and that's pretty much the time that we'll take for that, because there's not footage that I can show or allowed to show y'all. The beta access was really good. The game's going to be coming out pretty soon. Now, the biggest thing that I'll end Overwatch 2 with is it is free on all platforms to play, as well as crossplay. So it's definitely worth checking out. And I wouldn't judge it too harsh on the first try. There's going to be a lot of people playing and everything, but especially if you find some groups or an arcade mode that you really like, then it just makes it all the worth it. Let's see. That's all that I have for Overwatch 2. Going back into Overwatch 1. Overwatch 1, like I mentioned, it's been out for an extremely long time. And it has added characters slowly over time. So when they started, they had Anna as the first add-on, and then so on and so forth for damage, tank, healers. They even did some changes to the characters. So, such as one of the main healers that a lot of people probably are aware of is going to be Mercy. So Mercy is this kind of angelic, blonde-haired healer. And, she's got this staff that can heal you and then also switch to damage boosting you. And they changed her because her ult used to be that when you could go and you go to res someone, like revive them from the dead, it would actually resurrect everybody that was down at that time, which was a really, really big play that you could do, especially if they had killed some of the team, they moved them forward, you could res, and then they could kill them from behind. There was a lot of different plays for it, but they did change that. So now her ultimate, when you activate it, she has pretty much this unlimited flying where it's just like a levitation. And then you have this stronger healing beam that can reach out to everybody that is close around, as well as the damage boost it can reach out. So I did like the change. I liked the other one, but I think it was an equal swap. With that introduction, what I will go ahead and do is I'm going to get into a little bit of the game footage that we have for y'all. And you'll get to see a lot. Like I said, feel free to comment if you want. I'm just going to explain a little bit of how Overwatch 1 is, maybe compare it to Overwatch 2, and see if I can get anybody else on board, especially with it going to be a free-to-play game. But I'd like to show y'all all the things that it has to offer. So we're going to pull this up. I'm going to show down here in the bottom left-hand corner so you can still see what I'm talking about in the commentary. So the first one, I have a still image. This one you're going to see highlighted in blue. This is my gamer tag, Harsh Lone Wolf. So when you show up at the end of the game on one of these cards, this is basically saying kind of like they noticed you as the biggest in that category. So you're going to see with me, I had 4,399 hero damage done. This is just overall throughout the game that you're able to dish out. And in total of the team, I did 28% of the damage out of the 6 people that were on our team. The number that you see here down at the bottom is actually going to be the people who upvoted you. So this is the people on the enemy's team and on my team, and they're going to be the ones who have voted. So you have the check mark because obviously I voted for myself. There was nobody else blue on here. So that was here. These are the people left that are playing. Then you have up top, you have the enemy team and who's left in there playing. You have like top eliminations. You have the MVP. Now, the MVP is someone who spins the match on fire. This doesn't mean literally on fire. It's basically saying, hey, they were doing so good consistently. So you build up fire as you do good plays, combos, achieve objectives and stuff like that, and then you can maintain that fire. You also have healing done. The healing done 2,510. Lucio's a area of healer. He took 16% of the team's damage out of the 6 players. So those are those cards. There's different cards. These aren't the only cards that are out there. You can vote for the other players, everything like that. With that being said, I will go ahead and I'm going to get started. So this is Widowmaker. This is the character that you just saw me on the playing card for. Now, this is an emote. I'm sure most of y'all gamers out there know what those emotes are because they come in many different games, as well as like one of my other favorite games, Destiny 2. Now, for the emotes, these are really easy to get. You can either get them randomly through the loot boxes, or as you get coin through the loot boxes, you can actually buy them. Different ones go on different sales, like during anniversary, during Christmas, and you can get a bunch of different ones. This one, I went with a really classic vibe for the skin. And then for the emo, I've got the fan. And I just wanted to show you all that for a little bit. She just waves it back and forth. She is a assault character. She is a sniper. You can see down in the bottom right corner, we have the grappling hook. This is going to be getting you leverage, the higher ground, being able to hit those shots. To the right, you have a venom mine. When you throw that out like a grenade, it's going to stick to any surface. And then if some enemy walks past it, it's going to rupture. And this is going to do 2 things. 1, it's going to poison them over time. And 2, it's actually going to show you their location, even if they're behind something. This gives you a huge advantage as a sniper, because if they go to peek around that corner after they're hit and you go to give them damage, it's going to do extremely well. Now, the other thing really cool about this rifle is it also goes as an assault rifle. Now, the recoil and the fire spread on it is severe, so it's not recommended, but it's kind of a way to somewhat, if somebody was close quarters, for you to somewhat put up a fight. Now, you can also see on the screen, you have got my other player's name that's on my team, and then you have this, what is a damage boost. Now, I mentioned this on Mercy. So with Mercy, you can do healing and you can do a damage boost. The damage boost is blue and Mercy's healing is yellow. And then on the left, you can see where they say who they are, their gamer tag, the character, which is Mercy, the healer, and then what their comment is. They said, hello. We have programmed comment wheels that you can actually do on here. Now, the comment wheel, you can edit it. And I have one of mine as thanks. She gave me a damage boost and she said hello. I went ahead and thanked her for it because I'm a sniper. This is going to help me pick off some of the people. I'm not a great sniper. You'll probably see that here in a little bit, but I do want to show y'all a little bit of that gameplay. You do get the health down in the bottom left. It is covered up, unfortunately, but she has 175 health. And then down below it, you see faintly right here, this bar. That is the fire meter for letting you know if you're going to be on fire, which is good for this game. All right. So you can see that blue stream. I'm going to come out. Now, this is in the back of the map. And when you aim in with Widowmaker, you can see here in the middle, there's 59% power. The longer you hold it, you can hit to 100% power. So once you hit that 100% power, you can then shoot, and you can shoot before then as well. So as you can see there, that Echo came in and was flanking me from behind. She threw out her like sticky grenades, and I threw out that mine there, which you can actually see on the screen marked with the blue. And then I used that assault rifle to kind of spray fire to get her to back off. Then I'm going to retreat inside, and my plan was actually to go inside to get healed. But thankfully, my Mercy has my back and starts healing me. So let's go ahead and resume here. I'm going to turn around, and then because she activated my mind, I'm going to then go ahead and hit her because I could see her through the walls. So as you can see, that Mercy in the top right has healing me with those beams that's attached. You see that yellow mark that I was telling you all about. And once you do get a kill, it's going to show this death mark in the middle of the screen, the enemy's name in red, eliminated, and it's going to give you a fire boost. So you see in the bottom left, my fire meter is filling up, and that's wonderful. In the middle, you can see that I have the button Q launched with my ult, and you'll see me use that here in a second. Let me start this. Now you can get off some damage. So I finished off the Doomfist, and then I used the ultimate here. This ultimate actually allows your entire team, the infrared sight, to see everybody through all of the walls. This is a big boost because you can preemptively get set up for like any of the shots, like teaming up to like do ambushes, stuff like that. Let's see here. Once we get started, so you're going to see, I started off this clip. This is going, it's the same character, but I wanted to show y'all a couple of things. So the first thing in the right side of the screen, you see here that there is a Black Widow. This is obviously the character I'm playing, but this is actually a spray that you can have. This is also in a lot of different games, and it's kind of a cool feature just before you do the game. Some people, when they get like a really cool kill, they can do the spray and an emote. It just depends on the type of player you are. You can see that countdown 5 that's up at the top. This is letting us know that the game's about to begin. I'm going to go ahead and put a mine out there in hopes that it's going to spray the enemy so that we can get a little bit more. Now you can see triggered means that it went off successfully. If it says destroyed, it means somebody destroyed it without setting it off. So you can see, I can actually see who triggered it through any surfaces that's there. And you can also see the hit marks of when I am damaging the enemy. So we're going to watch here. I'm using this corner as cover as well as being able to kill these enemies. Once you take a lot of fire, so right here, I took all down to 4 health. Other than waiting for healers, you actually have healing packs that are out here on the map, so you can select that. We're switching off to this gameplay, and you just saw me use the grappling hook, which you haven't seen before. That grappling hook actually gets you to really high places, and it's a very long grappling hook. So this is really good as a sniper because as you see, I've got a little bit of cover and it's higher up. You have those walls for cover up top there, and it kind of forces them through a tunnel so that you can maintain scoped in without having to be one of those quick scopers that you see in the game. If you are, congrats to you. I don't have that skill to be like zooming all over the place on the map. So it's really great to be able to make sure that they're in this tunnel. So you're going to see here that I'm watching the sides, get an enemy there, kill that one, and then another one comes through this tunnel and I killed that one. This is really important to what I was saying about the tunnel vision because this is the main approach that everyone takes is through this main one. You saw that opening on the right that I did watch for a bit, but a lot of people don't do that because there is a gap that you have to jump and some characters can't jump it and you just fall and you die. You also see there's a battle up there going with Genji and I believe Roadhog. So once you start here, I try to shoot, but he dashes out of my vision. We then switch over to Hanzo. Hanzo is another sniping character. He does damage. He's not quite of a rifle snipe. He obviously has a bow, as you can see there, and he can do somewhat damage, but it has a severe drop off when you're shooting. Now, this first one that you see here, when you press E, that's one of his abilities, is where you could rapidly fire full-powered arrows in a certain time frame. Now, this is something that I decided to do because Ashe, which you see highlighted in red over by my hit markers is a very small character, as well as she has the opportunity to get out of my sight and everything. So I want to try to lay down some spread fire so that it can hit her and hopefully eliminate her. Now you can see here is trying to get really close, but I just couldn't get her because she's evading and she just jumped out of my vision. Now the arrow you just saw me shoot was another ability by Hanzo, and that ability is actually a sonic arrow. This is a smaller way of Widowmaker's ult. So Widowmaker's ult actually lets everybody see all the enemies at the map. This sonic arrow actually hits, and then if you saw for that brief second, let me see if I can reel that footage back, is it pings and it saw one enemy. Let's see if I can catch this. But you can see those circles. That's how you know a sonic arrow was shot. You can see the little red markers that's by my hit markers. That means that I've taken a hit. And then there was that red enemy that you could see through the wall back there. We're going to transition a little bit later into the gameplay. I wanted to show y'all. He also has an ultimate. I really like this ultimate because it is kind of a tunnel vision, really strong. Basically, if you get caught into it for a few seconds, you die. So you're going to shoot two dragons that come out spinning, and everyone in that path that stays in there for a couple of seconds dies. And doing this with a combination of certain characters is really good. The character you see on my left is called Orisa, and one of her abilities shoots out this orb that you can activate at any time that draws everybody really closely in. Now, when I saw her use that, I wanted to use this, but it was too late. They already spread together, then they were evading as I used this ult. So as you see, I don't get any kills through that, but I did want to show you all that ultimate. We're basically laying down suppression fire. I did get one kill there following up. Winston's pushing us with heavy fire. And then we're going to go back. This is the very end of the map. So we're really trying to prevent them from getting all the way up here. Now you see that on the ground, you can see all the blue beams giving us damage boosts. And you can actually see Mercy over here with the blue wings, the white hat. She's actually not the one doing it. Orisa actually has an ultimate that slams down this bongo at the floor, and it gives everybody damage boosting that's in the radius. So this is really good. It lasts for a little bit, but it doesn't do healing. It's just damage. So once again, a lot of these characters have different abilities that like one's an ultimate and then one has like a smaller use of it. But it's really nice for laying down suppression fire. And you're going to see arrows are really strong. And if they hit, they can really kill a character. But I'm staying back so that I'm not dying and wasting time coming back out. I'm just laying suppression fire. We're skipping over to another map here. As you can see, I'm about halfway to my ult. I've got none of my abilities. We have a tank in front of me, Reinhardt, but we've also got my team laying fire. So we got some good damage going there. And we're actually on the aggressive side this time. So we're pushing towards the end of that map. So once again, I can get some of those quick hit kills, but for the most part, we lay down suppression fire and then we push the objective forward. This is really great. We won, and then we earned a loot box because whenever you play and you level up once, you get a loot box. And you have a lot of other opportunities for loot boxes too, like I mentioned a little bit before. So after going after this victory, I want to go ahead and share with y'all one of the tanks. This is my favorite tank, Zarya. On the bottom left ability, you could see a bubble. This bubble is going to be bubbling yourself to protect yourself, but not only protect yourself, but also any damage that you take into that bubble actually increases the number in the middle where you can see my beam is, my hit markers. And the higher that number is, the stronger your charge is to being killing enemies. So that means if you're using this character right, you're going to be shielding using your right ability, shielding others, the left ability, shielding yourself to take damage, and then you're dishing it out so much more. Now, this is really good, but there are major downsides to this because the more damage you take, so if you take the center fire from the enemy team, they're going to get through your shields in like about a second, and then they're going to continue to kill you because when you have a whole team focusing on you, they have enough fire to get through your shields and kill you. Each time you die, you lose your entire progress of building up your energy, and you got to do it again. It's really not that hard to get it up, but you need a team that's going to back you with heals, and then another tank that's going to be taking about half that damage so they can block when you no longer have shields or you're taking heavy fire. So it revolves around a lot of teamwork. Now, as you can see here, there's a frozen May wall in my way. We get past it. I'm going to shield my teammate. You can see that number just rising up. And it's at 20 right now, and it goes all the way to 43. You can also shoot out grenades with your high energy. Now, you can see that I just told my team to fall back. We have a heavy group of enemies there. We don't have many friendlies. I want to use this wall as cover, make sure that I can maintain my charge, as well as we have my healer back here, which is a radius healer. So I tell them, fall back. I'm going to go back to try to support, help them, and help them back up rather than just being in the back because I'm a frontline tank. So it doesn't really work. I'm extremely low, so I'm backing out. And I go for this health pack right here, but luckily my healers already got my back. You can see that I pinged them saying thank you. They had already healed me up. I believe shortly after that, we go in for a push as a team, which is great. We're going to switch over to an assault class. Now, this assault class, this is one from Mystery Heroes. I don't default play this hero very much, but it is a turret and a tank. So on the left, you have the transform ability that transforms you into a turret that you are a minigun and can mow people down. On the right, you have a way to heal yourself. Now, your gun has 35 shots when you're in the walking mode as a robot. And then when you transform to a turn, I think it's like 400 shots, 300 shots. So as you can see, I jumped down using that transformation, killed that one enemy. Now I'm going to poach up on the objective. Now this is a really tight choke point. As you can see to the left, my friendlies are pushing them back, that Winston. But I'm staying here to focus through this choke because right now you're either in the open in front of them or you're waiting for them to attack you behind the corner over here. So it is somewhat risky. There is an opening on the right, and then above the tunnel, there's a spot that you could perch. So it is a little bit risky, but I'm holding up here because I have plenty of walls to defend me to get through this choke. So we do get through here. Now you're going to see in a second an enemy, the hamster wrecking ball is going to come down, and it has major health. But because I am a turret, I can go ahead and do heavy damage. My teammates are healing me as well as I do the final touches on my healing. We're going to switch over to another map. Now, I know that we're going by really fast on here. This is my first time doing the edits and stuff. So if you have any comments on what you'd like to see in the future, please let us know. We'd love to take that into factor and to be able to put more quality into these things, guys. And if there's any other game that you want us to look out into, please let us know so that I can hop on it, get some footage, gameplay, and really kind of tell y'all my opinion of it, a little bit about how it plays, show y'all, and see if anybody else wants to get that game. Just drop us a comment on YouTube. We do check it frequently, or on Facebook, and we will look into it and we'll get back to you. So on this one, I wanted to show you, this one has a lineup of the assault. So you can see the assault has way more heroes than you've got the support and the tanks. As you can see, I have a gladiator skin for Doomfist, but it runs through a lot of them. Now, my favorite one, though, is Ash. I have the socialite skin for her, which is a very fancy one, but I have some really mean mugging ones like Warlock and stuff like that. They do have wonderful skins, like I am saying, guys. But I did want to show you all that right there, the amount of heroes. Now, I also wanted to go ahead and show you, we've got some voice lines, which I just said, as well as you have some emotes. Now, for Ash, her dynamite, obviously one of her abilities, you throw up the dynamite, you shoot it, and it blows up that dynamite. I'm also going to show you the slow clap, which I really love. It's an unimpressive kind of, like, if you, like, completely curb stomp an enemy. Now, with Ash, she is my favorite character. I didn't give y'all any footage because I have so much, and it's crazy. I just went through what I had time. But let me go ahead and tell you all a little bit about her abilities. So in the bottom left, you can see you have this spark and this concussion wave. Using that is her sawed-off shotgun. It doesn't do a tremendous amount of damage. It's mainly used as a forceful push. So using that shotgun will blast you back and your enemies away from you. But not only that, you can use it in very creative ways. If you're falling off the map, you can actually shoot it down below you to kick you back up into the air onto the map. If you need to get to high ground, you can actually shoot down below you and throw yourself up to the high ground. There's many different useful ways on there. And guys, if you play this character and know what I'm talking about, drop a comment below and let me know your favorite way of using the sawed-off shotgun. On the right, the ability that we have is the dynamite. This is similar to that knife that I was telling you all about with Junker Queen in Overwatch 2 when you throw it. The only thing is this dynamite doesn't stick or anything. But what I mean by it's similar is if you can actually hit your target, you can actually shoot that dynamite wherever it lies or even in the air and it will detonate it. So this is a huge advantage for like Reinhardts who have a really big shield. You can actually throw that dynamite over their shield and then shoot it while it's at the apex. And it will spread that fire on top of all of the enemies. Rather than if you shoot it in front of the shield, it gets none of them. Now that fire from the dynamite is going to burn them over time as well as allow you to do extra damage to them. Now this is great. She has a rifle. This is more of a marksman rifle. If you aim down, it is more powerful and it's got 12 shots. Or you can really quick, it's a level action gun and you can spray fire it, but it's just not as effective. It's not as much damage. But it is by far my favorite character. So as we see here, we're going to be moving forward. Now, the next one's going to be Wrecking Ball. Y'all saw earlier when I was Bastion, the turret, who mowed down everybody with that turret. Now, Wrecking Ball, I joined this mystery game, or not mystery, but I joined this game really late. As you can see, it's already overtime with the enemies at 99%. I'm going to come in here. I'm going to sneak behind them just so I can get a little bit of time and a feel for what's going on. I can see my teammates using their ultimate. I'm going to go ahead and spread some fire. Use my grappling hook to stay in that fight. I'm going to use my shields. I have my ult. I'm going to place that ult right here. That ult is going to lay down a minefield. This is going to help deter any of the enemies from getting on point or at least making them take extra effort to destroy my minefield. I'm going to provide a little bit of fire. That Wrecking Ball is coming in. I'm going to shoot that Wrecking Ball, try to push them out. A really bold move on the Wrecking Ball, using its body as destroying most of the mines. And then you get to see one of the abilities that Wrecking Ball slams down, and it's going to create a concussion wave that's going to destroy some of them, but still going to take damage. Now, that wasn't good because we had 3 friendlies on site and destroyed them, but they did get rid of all the mines. We did cap that point on there. Now we're going to switch over to Soldier. So with Soldier, you're going to have where you can fire like your primary, that's an assault rifle. You have your sprint, which you can see in the left ability. In the middle, you have your own healing radius that you can drop down. And then on the right, you actually have rockets. It's a 3 helix rocket that shoots and it spins until it hits a target or a wall or anything like that. This causes a lot of damage. Now you're going to see we have enemies up at the high ground. And so because it's angled from where I'm at, because I'm at the low ground, I can only see the top half of their bodies. So shooting with the assault rifle is going to cause a high spread of fire, which is not going to be very accurate for hitting. So what I'm going to use is my helix rockets, which is very accurate. Nail that person, kill them. Now, what I do want to tell y'all is the endorsement levels. I had mentioned this a little bit before. The endorsement levels at the end of every game, you can open up and you can give kudos basically like, oh, they were a leader, good job, just stuff like that. They're all positive. And so whenever you provide those endorsements, after a while, if you get an endorsement level 4, you get 3 loot boxes at one time. If you get an endorsement level 3, you get 2. And so I hadn't played for a little bit, so I was only 3 instead of 4. But I did get 2 loot boxes, which was amazing. And I do love that. You can see that character there. His name is Roadhog, and it's giving you a little thumbs up, which is really cool. And Overwatch does a lot of that. In the background, you have the new skin for Mercy. Very sleek, if I have to say. I kind of like that knight in shining armor feel, as well as, the lady being the knight in shining armor. You can see I've got 2 loot boxes over there. We're going to open those for y'all. This first one didn't really get lucky. 3 silvers, 1 blue. You can see I all got coin for all of those because I already have every single one of them. So you see how you get 5 coins? I've got 5,260 because I just get coins for so many of these duplicates. And I had like 16, but they've been releasing some really good skins that I've been buying. And those skins are usually like 1,000 for the really, really nice ones. You can see this yellow one right here, which is actually top tier. It is epic. It is one of my main healing characters, Moira. However, it's just not my favorite skin. I already have one. Now, with this, you do get coins for some of these. Some of these are ones that I don't have, but I'm really glad that I caught this one because it's really a really nice thing to see a loot box open. Not just in this game, but any of them, to give you just one of the best items, even if it's not one that I like. So once we could see, we open that. I'm going to go ahead and show y'all back what I wanted to show y'all a little bit before when I was playing Widowmaker. You have, right after I finish those other 2, I shoot this Tracer, but she has this ability where she can jump and twist out. And when she does that, it's like time jumps and stuff. It's really cool. She's got 3 jumps that she can jump forward, and then she's got 1 that rewinds just herself in time. Her ult is just a little bomb that she can place, and she can get it really quickly. She's got like 2 machine gun pistols that she uses, and it's pretty cool, but it takes a skillful user. I can't really play Tracer very well. I've done a lot of improvements, but I definitely wouldn't want to rely on me. I have been practicing with my sniping, so you've seen a lot of that. I do apologize that I don't have a lot of other things in here. But I did place this mine out here. As you see, I take a big hit from Ryan's fire strike. And then I'm going to go ahead and use this cover. Diva just activated my bomb, and I'm using this cover to go ahead and start trying to pick off some people. I do get that Reinhardt. I get the Reaper. I see the Diva. I do knock the Diva, but I don't do the finishing blow. My Mercy does a wonderful job healing me up the rest of the way. We're going to go ahead and come in here. I finish off the Lucio. This is really important because it's one of the healers. And as a sniper, you're doing your team a huge favor by knocking these squishy targets that's keeping your enemies alive. I can't always do it, but when you can, it feels really great. It allows your team to push forward. I do see that Echo over there to that right when I activate my ultimate, where you can see everybody through the wall. I do regret to say I did not get to kill that Echo. She does come in on the right, kind of flank me, but I do only have 175, so not a really resilient hero. Now, that is everything for the footage that I have to show y'all. I really do hope y'all enjoyed that. Now, Overwatch 1, there's so much more than what I already showed y'all, and if y'all really liked it, let me know, and I'd be happy to put forward to y'all another video on Overwatch. But like I said, drop us a comment on any other video games that you'd like to see reviews on, our takes on it, to see if it's a game that you want to play. I mean, I've got a lot of the new ones like Dying Light 2. Well, technically it's not new anymore. It came out in like January. There's Stray that came out. It's a cat game that a lot of people are getting into for dedicated meow buttons you could scratch. And it's just this like really cool futuristic feel to that video game. You have Destiny 2, which is actually old, and even Destiny 1, but they have a lot of new stuff currently coming out, like the Witch Queen just came out. Destiny 2 is free and crossplay, but you do have to buy the DLCs. It's no longer free on Game Pass. I do have Xbox Game Pass Ultimate for both my PC and my Xbox, so I do have access to a lot of games. If y'all see anything on there that you want to see kind of a review or anything on, let us know. Really excited to go over that kind of stuff. There's like racing games. There's anything, guys. Just let us know if there's something up your alley that you want us to take a look at. as well as anything that you have ideas for shows upcoming that you want to see. Let us know. Thor came out. There is a lot of new movies. I just went and saw, let's see, it was The Legend of Hank. No, it was Paws of Fury, The Legend of Hank. This was a Mel Brooks production, and it was actually like a parody off of Blazing Saddles. There was a lot of references and stuff, even Star Wars references in it. It was an animated movie about this cat Japan place that was doing samurais and a dog that was in a cat's world. I really just thought it was okay. I couldn't even say that it was good. And they started the movie off with just the worst trailer. I walked out of the theater to check to see if we were in the right one, because I was like, I'm leaving. This is so horrible. But it was just like a 10-minute short clip of a different movie or something. And it wasn't even a trailer or something. It was weird. But we go check out movies frequently, and we'd really love to tell y'all about things that are coming out. Even Marvel Phase 5 was released with a lot of trailers talking about, how we're ending off Phase 4 with Wakanda Forever. If you haven't seen that trailer, go check it out now. And then also, we're starting off Phase 5 with Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania, which everyone probably already knew for the most part. Obviously, you are listening to Geek Insider. I do want to let y'all know once more, in August, we will going to be going to a comic book convention in Bell County, Texas. We're going to be trying to snag some interviews for you guys, some footage, and any videos and photos for y'all during that time to put together. If there's anything that y'all see on there that you want us to do, you can comment and let us know, or email Matthew@geekinsider.com and let us know if there's anything that you want us to try to hit. I can't guarantee anything, but we do pretty well trying to snag interviews, and I know that you guys will be very impressed, with some of these people, like the guy who plays Darth Maul. I think it was like Ray Palmer or something like that. There's even some anime voice actors that are going to be there. There is the guy who played the Darth Vader suit in the Obi-Wan Kenobi series. Overall, I'm just really looking excited for it, and I can't wait to share that with you guys. Stay tuned for next week's episode. Me and Matthew has something special in mind for you guys. He does send his regards. He apologizes for not being able to join us in today, but he should be joining us next week. I had a lot of blast sharing with y'all my favorite game, and I really look forward to any of y'all's comments with games that y'all want to come out with, that are coming out with, that you want us to do reviews, or even prior ones. I just did this one because Overwatch 2 is coming out. It's free, and although I couldn't provide you with footage from that, I was going to provide you some footage of my own Overwatch gameplay. So I do thoroughly hope you enjoyed it. We do have that new intro. Please let us know what you think about that. We work very hard to be able to try to make this as appeasing as possible for you guys. So do let us know. We care a lot about what you think. As well as anything coming out. Like I have really, really strong opinions of Thor. And boy, if Matthew was here right now, he would tell you I had very strong opinions of it. And if you saw it, I really want to know what y'all think about the Thor. I don't have enough time to talk about that here, but I will tell y'all, thank you for joining us for Geek Insider Presents Into the Geekverse. I would like to say that this show is always in remembrance of Meredith Law. I can't pronounce her last name, but we've said it pretty much every show. She was Matthew's old co-host who did pass away, unfortunately. I would like to let y'all know that we do stream on all major podcasting platforms. It should air tomorrow if we have everything straightened out. So you can also subscribe to us there if you like to listen to us on the way for work or anything like that. We do have opportunities on geekinsider.com. You can reach out to info@geekinsider.com for any advertisement opportunities. If you want to do any interviews with us, let us know. We'd love to have people on the show. We have comic books that we can go over and all that kind of stuff for future show ideas. People who, if y'all do any comic books and stuff like that, you can let us know. Do make sure to join us in for next Sunday live at 9 o'clock. Make sure to subscribe to us, or we might just have to take your geek card away. Once again, thank you so much for joining in. I wish you all the best for the week ahead. And y'all have a great rest of y'all's week.